Hello, Approach! My name is Luciana Barbiero. I am the Academic and Career Advisor at Approach, and if you're here, you're joining us for Mindful Mondays. Yeah, so every Monday we go live to talk about self-care, mental health for international students, and today we will be going live with Tammie Key, who is our international and student advisor. And we will be talking about gratitude and self-care. Let me write my comment here. Welcome, everyone. Hello. Let me pin my comment real quick. If I can, of course. Let me see who's here. Jefferson, hello. Dabs. Turkey here. Stay at home. Yeah, for sure. Hi, everyone. So again, if you just joined us, I was just saying that we're going live today for Mindful Mondays. So every Monday at 3 p.m., Tammie and I are going live to talk about topics related to mental health and international students. And today, Tammie and I will be talking about gratitude and self-care. You know, as you probably know, we are all here in the United States. Most of the schools are at home and a lot of businesses are working from home due to the situation that is happening in the country right now. And today, Tammie and I will be giving you a few tips and talking to you. I hope you guys are engaged and you share some of your tips with us about gratitude and self-care. So let's see if Tammie is live. Let me see if I can find Tammie here. Aha, there she is. Hi,
Hello.
Tammie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm very excited to be talking to you and with all of these amazing people here in our Instagram Live today.
Yes. Hello, everyone.
Hopefully we will be sharing not only our tips, right? But also we would love to hear from you guys. So stay with us because we will be asking you a few questions as well throughout the live.
Yes. Yes.
So hopefully we can kind of all, you know, help each other to go through times like this. Tammie, before we start, would you like to introduce yourself? So maybe some people were not in our Instagram Live last week. So I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Tammie Key. I am the PDSO or International Student Advisor for Approach. And so that's me. I also do counseling, but we'll talk to you guys about that at the very, very end.
Yeah, we have some exciting news coming up for our Approach students.
Yes.
So do make sure you stay with us until the end of our Instagram Live because we will be sharing some of those announcements with you.
Yes.
So Tammie, you know that the main topic of our Instagram Live today is self-care. But before we jump into that, I would like to talk a little bit about gratitude and, you know, how much gratitude can impact your life. And especially in times like this, we all know that it's very easy for us to get wrapped into a lot of emotions and feelings and thoughts that might not be as positive due to everything that is happening in the world. But I would like to take a moment and ask you guys a question. If you can write in the comments below, can you tell us one thing of what you're grateful for today? What are you grateful for today? So please write in the comments below so we can read.
Yes. So I'm grateful today that I have another opportunity to love God's people, especially in times like this when we're away from each other and if you're anything like me, I need human contact constantly. It's a part of my personality. It's a part of who I am. And so I love being around people. And so I'm grateful that I have an opportunity to be around people via Instagram. We're not together, but we're communicating with each other. So I'm grateful for that. I asked my cousin who lives here at the house with me, I said, what are you grateful for today? And she said she's grateful that she gets to show love. And so that's very important. Showing love. We can show love in all different types of ways. Calling someone on the telephone, just saying, hey, I was thinking about you. How are you doing? That's showing love. And so she's grateful for showing love on today.
I love that. And that goes very, it's very similar to something that I was listening to this morning to a podcast on, you know, how sometimes in times like this, there's a lot of fear that comes in the way, and how can we cope with that, you know? And in the podcast, if you guys have read Eat, Pray, and Love from Elizabeth Gilbert, she's an author,
Yes.
has written amazing books. And in this podcast, she was saying how she's also been showing love to not only to other people, but to herself, you know? And it was so interesting to hear that a lot of times we put ourselves in this spiral of thoughts that are not as positive. And then she was saying that every morning she writes herself love letters. So it's a very similar to journaling, let's say, you know.
Yes.
And then in this love letter, she tells that, you know, everything is okay and this shall pass as well. I am here for you, because a lot of times, you know, I think it's kind of like in a matter of everything that is happening that we kind of hug ourselves, you know, and our inner selves to expressing that love. You still there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see me?
Yes, I can.
I'm sorry.
So if you guys, let's see if we have anybody that made any comment about one thing that you're grateful for. I see that Patricia is one of our student ambassadors. She said, I'm grateful for being healthy.
Yeah, very good.
That's a big one.
That is.
And you can keep writing. There are a few more things that I would like to share with you too. That something that I've been practicing for a while and that really helps me is that every morning when I wake up, I tell myself 3 things that I'm grateful for. And a lot of times that now that we're spending more time, maybe you're by yourself, or maybe you're spending time with your kids, your family, you could kind of create a gratitude game with that, right? So maybe you're having the opportunity to have breakfast with everyone or dinner with everyone, and maybe that doesn't happen as often. My life is busy. I think it's very cool to hear from other people, you know, so what are we grateful for today? And you can go around of like 3 things that each person is grateful for today. And I will tell you that you will probably realize that if at the moment you're doing that, you're in a place of not as much positivity, you will notice that little by little, all the gratitude that you're vocalizing, that you're expressing, and the gratitude that you're hearing from maybe your spouse, maybe your kids, you're going to see that will kind of like raise your vibration and changes a lot of things. It puts things into perspective too.
Yes. One of the things I wrote down for when we talk about self-care is to write an inspirational quote that you can share on social media with your family, with your friends, and ask them to also do the same thing so that you're sharing something positive. And that's also part of helping you to stay with self-care too, because that's an emotional feeling that you're gonna have, that's gonna make you feel it's gonna make you feel happy. It's gonna make you feel appreciated. It's gonna make you feel wonderful. And that's what self-care is all about. It's how we make ourselves feel. And so, you know, you should do that, right? An inspirational quote, send it out and see the response that you get back from that.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting too, Tammie, that you mentioned in the beginning how, you know, the power of connection through, you know, that we have internet today.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times if you can share that with people like in person, if you're not having physical contact, if you share a quote or something like that to even an old friend, maybe maybe
Yes.
a friend that you met, there was a really good friend of yours when you were in high school, but you haven't talked to this person in such a long time. This could also be an amazing time to reconnect and to
Yes.
share that message as well.
Yes. It's very important. There's also other things that you can do for self-care while we're home. We're spending more time alone. You could do some self-reflection, self-reflecting, to see where you're at this stage in your life. That's very interesting as well to do. Another self-care is we're in our houses, we're not getting dressed. Get up, get dressed like if you were going to go out. Take a nice shower, put some makeup on, put on some earrings, right? And just make yourself feel good. Because that's a part of self-care too. Sometimes the longer you stay in pajamas, you have that feeling of slothfulness. You just want to be lazy. You just want to lounge around. No, you want to get up. You want to move around. You want to make yourself feel good. You want to make yourself
Yes,
look pretty. It
yes,
works. You put a little
it
bit of
really
makeup
does.
on, a little eyeshadow, right? And it brightens up our whole face. And so, do that as a part of self-care while we're isolated in our homes.
Yeah,
Men, moisturize. Make sure that you're keeping your skin moisturized, guys, so that it's not drying. Because when we're in the house, we're not getting, there's some things that we're not getting that our skin needs. So we need to make sure that we're moisturizing. We need to make sure that we're not, same for our hands. I have oil that sits next to me. It's vitamin E, and I rub it on my hands. And so that's how I keep my hands moisturized because it's good for your skin. If you like aloe, some people use aloe leaves. My husband is big on aloe leaf. He even made his own hand sanitizer for the house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he did.
That's something new
I'll
and
have to
cool to
show you
learn.
next time. Yes.
Yeah.
And so you have to do things like that as a part of self-care.
Yeah. And I thought it was interesting that Patricia also mentioned, she said, yes, we need to see good things during the difficult times. We need to enjoy the moment we're having with our family at home. And
Yes.
it's so interesting that you mentioned that, Patricia. I was having a conversation with a good friend of mine last week that, you know, a lot of times we were saying before, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. But now that you do have time, what are some things that you can do and put the time and love to talk to people that you love, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Gabby said, I am grateful for having all this technology available in times like this. Can you
Yeah.
imagine being at home with no technology and no information, no social interaction at all? Yeah, that would be much more challenging.
Well, just think about how many books you would read in that time, right?
I mean, it's all about looking at the bright side of, you know,
Mm-hmm.
at
Of
things.
isolation.
Yeah.
Yep. It's the bright side.
Um, you know, something that talking about self-care also.
Mm-hmm.
I know that now there's, especially, I feel like with the past 2 weeks that everything happened, a lot of, you know, famous people on Instagram or people that create content on social
Mm-hmm.
media platforms, you're
Mm-hmm.
flooded with so much information. Now it's the time, and I myself said that too, you know, now it's the time that you can improve your resume, go take that course, go do this, go do that. But in reality, let's just take a moment. You know, how many times do you have the opportunity to sit with yourself And is this a pleasant thing all the time? Maybe
Yes.
maybe it's not going to be as pleasant, because yes, you're going to be sitting with yourself and you might be dealing with a lot of emotions, but
Mm-hmm.
you know, this could be something amazing for you, because if you had never taken the time to sit with yourself and enjoy your company, you know, maybe
Mm-hmm.
now it's a good time to start practicing that, because that is also
Yes.
self-care.
Yes, yes, yes. That's very important too. When we are by ourselves and we are doing self-evaluation, right? Because that's what that looks like. Um, and so, what do? Right? Or what would you, what if you had time? What would you do? Right? And so
Yeah.
that's a question that you right that you can answer right now. I have all of this time on my hand. You guys are on break. And so what do you do?
Yeah.
If I the question is if I had time, I would. And so what tell us what you would do, right? One of my things is I never have time to read. And because we're always so busy, I don't have time to read the things that I like. And so I like James Patterson, I like Stephen King. And I have tons of books here that I purchased. And so that when I have that time, then I could read. And so one of the things for me it would be to read one of my books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right?
I love that. And you guys can, I wrote the sentence in the comments. If I had time, I would. Please write your comments, that something that, you know, in the past, you always said, if I had time, I would, dot, dot, dot. And
Yes.
you write in in the comments. So we would love to hear from you. Something to me, Tammie, that it has been something very amazing to me is,
Mm-hmm.
I would always say, if I had time, I would dance more. And
Oh,
to me, when I was a teenager, and I'm originally from Brazil, when I was a teenager, I used to participate in many dance groups. But for
mm-hmm.
several years, I ended up not dancing anymore. And it's been very interesting that last week, for 3 days in a row, what I did, I put my headphones, I went outside in the grass, and I put one of my favorite songs, and I just danced through the rhythm of the song or whatever my body was feeling. And I I feel that to me dance is very healing, because you know, I noticed that in those um, a few days that I was more expressive and my movements were long and happy, you know. And there was one of those
Mm,
days that I woke up and I wasn't feeling as positive. So, you know, because we all have those moments. And I noticed that
yes,
my
you
dance
do.
moves were more inward, you know. But every
Mm-hmm.
time after I did my kind of like my dance session outside, I felt so much better, because I was able to express what was inside, and my I was able to allow my body to express itself as well, you
Yeah,
know, because sometimes you
yes,
move
yeah,
and which muscles is in your body, you know, like have you ever
yes,
moved your arm like this or like that, you know, so you
yes,
kind of like you're aware
yes,
and you're being mindful of what muscles am I stretching, and you know,
stretching, yes,
so
yes. It's the rhythm of your body movement as well, and to do it outside. It was a beautiful weekend. We had one beautiful day, and
yeah,
so to be outside, um, practicing social distancing and
yeah.
dancing like that is 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 very important. And so that was wonderful.
And even if it is, we had a few days that it rained. When was the
Yeah.
last time you walked in the rain?
Oh,
You know, maybe you
yes.
were a kid when you last
Yeah.
did that. Uh,
Yes.
so
I
things that
love the
you,
rain. I love the
yeah,
sound of the rain. I on Saturday night when the thunderstorms and the heavy downpours, I turned all the lights off in the house. I lit a candle and I just laid on the couch and I enjoyed the the sound of the rain because it's very soothing, right?
Yeah,
And so I
yeah.
love the house was lighting up and it was just wonderful.
And
Let
I
us
think
hear
it's
from you guys.
and I think before we go to the comments, the idea of the mindful Mondays is also can you take a moment to allow yourself to experience those things that are very
Mhm.
simple. You don't have to do a billion
Very
things.
simple.
You can
Yep.
you can sit in the couch and listen to the rain,
Yes,
you know?
yes, yeah,
Gabby said, if I had time, I would do more elaborate skincare routine. Oh, I love
yes,
that. Yeah.
yes. Facials, right? You can do facials for the whole family,
Oh, I
children,
love that
husband,
idea.
everyone. The same with we can't get out to get our nails done. We can't get out to get pedicures because everything is closed. Have a family night where everybody is partaking and soaking their feet and doing pedicures and manicures. Take turns, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I
A
love that.
salt, a nice salt soak, right?
And
Healthy.
it's really, if you think about it, what memories do you want to create out of all this, you
Mhm.
know? So things like that, that you're bringing your family together. And if you don't have your
Mhm.
family together, you can schedule a happy hour via Zoom. I actually scheduled a happy hour with my
Yes.
friends tomorrow, and we're going to drink wine while we're talking.
Oh,
So,
very good.
you know,
Very good.
so doing things like this can be very soothing and nice.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
Patricia said, if I had time, I would learn to play piano. Wow.
Oh,
That's very
very
cool.
nice.
I mean, now that on Fridays, Patricia, we're having our little talent show. Maybe, in a few Fridays
Oh,
from
yeah.
now, you could play the piano for us. Also, Gabby said, how many times a week we appreciate sunset and the sunrise?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think,
Yes. I'm
I
up
know,
early morning.
what
I
did you say?
rise early. I get up early, so I catch the sunrise. Yes. And it's
So
so
nice.
beautiful. It's so peaceful. Yes.
And I think especially it's if you are someone that wakes up really early, it's especially nice because I feel that in the morning when you wake up, your mind is fresh. You haven't
Mhm.
gone through your social media or news or anything.
Nothing.
So maybe that's a really good time to
Oh,
practicing,
yeah.
mindfulness of like
Yes.
having a moment of presence, right?
Oh, yes, yes. That's the perfect time of morning for people who meditate, for Christians to spend time in their Word. It's a time for you to be by yourself. I love the morning because I get up early so that I can have that my me time. That's what I call it. I call my me time,
Yeah.
and I have my coffee and it's just wonderful.
Yeah. Um, we have Mariana also said, I'm trying to do yoga with my son, and we talk about the things that we're grateful for. Oh,
Oh, very
that's so
good.
sweet. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
I always talk how much fun kids can be. I know that it can be very intense having the kids at home 100% of the times, but how can
Hmm.
you create moments that I'm pretty sure that they will remember in the future too, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, we had a few comments from Met. He wants to know
Hmm.
how we're fighting with Corona. Uh, well, I imagine that if you guys are from Turkey and you're watching us, we're all working and studying from home.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
if you're here in this Instagram live, we are talking about ways that you can take better care of yourself and bring more positivity to your life.
Yes, especially during these times, it's very, very, very important. We can focus on the negative, but that's going to do what it's going to just make us depressed. And so we want to focus on everything positive so that we can, that's what's helping us to get through this. We have to take it one day at a time.
One
And
day at a time.
we're gonna beat this. We're not gonna let the COVID-19 beat us. We're going to beat COVID-19.
Yeah, absolutely. And well, and in that sense, Gabby also mentioned God created the world for us to appreciate, and we don't take the time to enjoy it and be grateful for it. It's easy to complain about what we don't have. What about what we already have?
What we already have. That's very important. I went to the grocery store the other day and I was in Shaw's and I noticed that, the shelves were getting bare. But I said to myself, I said, I have everything that I need. I have food in my house that I can cook. I wanted something different. And so we have to be grateful for what we do have, what we have in our homes now. None of us are hungry, right?
Yeah.
Because we have what we need. As people, we want more.
Yeah, yeah, and
Right?
it's natural that we go through
Mm-hmm.
those feelings, but I think again going back to everything that we've talked, can you implement a routine of being grateful for? What are you grateful for today? And if you are at home by yourself and you don't have
Mm-hmm.
people you can share that with, maybe you can schedule a meeting over Zoom or WhatsApp or whatever it is with your friends, your family, and you can even talk about that because I felt that with my family in Brazil, it got to a point that a lot of you can't help it because there's a lot of news and information out there, and everybody gets very worried. But
Mm-hmm.
how can you have a healthier conversation about that and also include because we can't deny what's happening,
No.
and that's true, and we can't deny the feelings that we're feeling, and that's
Mm-hmm.
okay, but having the support of your family and friends and trying to encourage more of these conversations of
Yes.
gratitude and
Mm-hmm.
self-care. I think it's important that we do that.
It's very important. It's very, very, very important. Make sure that you always have someone that you can speak to, a family member, a friend. Again, with social media, there's all kind of ways that you can connect to other people so that you can share how you're feeling because it's very, very important that you talk about how you're feeling, especially during these times. We're already isolated in our homes. We don't need to be isolated in our minds as well. We need to be verbal. We need to be sharing how we're feeling so that we can help each other as we get through this time. So
Yes.
that's very important.
Yes, absolutely.
Stay connected. That's the main thing. We want everybody to stay connected, and that's why we offer Mindful Mondays and all the things that we're doing at Approach. We're doing it for you. We want to make sure that we are meeting your whole need. And so in order for us to meet that whole need, we need to be hearing from you guys. We need you guys to be checking in with us and helping us along the way here. So we want you to be healthy. We want you to be safe.
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned about Approach. Patricia also mentioned, I miss my classes at Approach, my friends, my teacher, and all Approach team. And I'm grateful for everything Approach have been doing for us students during this difficult time. Aww.
Oh,
We're very
thank you.
grateful to have amazing students like
Yes,
you guys.
yes.
And I think you also had one of your former students, Marcelo, saying that he misses your classes,
Hi,
Tammie.
Marcelo. I miss you guys too.
Yeah. And with now that you mentioned about that, Tammie, and we had a comment, there are a few announcements that we want to briefly talk about them. We're not going to give you too much information about it because you will receive an email from us soon. So if you are a student at Approach will be offering sessions to our students to help with, you know, your mental health during this period. We have Tammie will be leading a few of the sessions, and we have Katia who will also be leading other sessions. And this will be groups to help students go through this process of, you know, uncertainty. Hopefully connect more with yourselves and feel supported not only by us but with the huge community that and family that Approach really is. So I just wanted to say, keep an eye out on emails from us between today and tomorrow. You will be receiving an email from us talking a little bit more about those projects. And of course, don't forget that now every Monday, Tammie and I are coming live here at 3 p.m. every Monday, Mindful Mondays. You guys are always welcome to join. We'd love to hear more from you. You know, it was amazing to hear today things that you were grateful for, things that you're doing. And hopefully we will be keeping having conversations that you know, put us in a positive spot that get supported and go through this feeling supported and know that we're all together, right?
Yes. And if anybody ever wants to reach out and speak with me personally, my information is, you can always reach me through email, and I will get right back to you. I'll give you my telephone number. We can talk. We can Skype. We can WebEx. We can Zoom so that we can be face to face. Just reach out and let us know what it is that we can do for you. We're here.
I just wrote Tammie's email there. It's T-Key, right?
Yes.
TKEY@approachusa.com.
Yep.
So if you are an Approach student, you can send an email to Tammie. And again, keep an eye out for an email today or tomorrow, talking a little bit more information of this group that we're creating for our students at Approach.
Yes.
Well, guys, thank you so much for staying here with us today. It was wonderful to talk to you a little bit and hear about what you guys have been doing. We hope to see you here next Monday at 3 p.m. Okay, bye, Tammie. Thank you so much.
Bye, Lou. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.